You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the...
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there on the first play of the game. 42 yards. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Set. 18 Gator. 50. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Ready, ready.
And quick throw here. That's complete. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now it's Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Wilson. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Dillon, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Parks. And he completes it to Westbrook. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. 60 Pittsburgh.
On 3rd down, here's Peyton. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Davis now to return it. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to him smart.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Josh Allen coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
Ready. Head over.
first down. Dillon. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the dump-off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Parks got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And he'll take it past the 25.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told them wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They Ella tomatoes, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that haters, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause I on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
And that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Time to check the defensive starters here for Kansas City. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And a throw right sideline is complete. Touchdown, Jaguars! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're slightly better than average against the run, number 14 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
From the 39, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On the ready.
Mike's 50. Big stop.
Recon, 132 fighter. Go.
To throw on 3rd down. Parks.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. There's Wilson to throw. It's caught. Smith. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 91 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
Let's go!
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a second down coming up. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a second down coming up. On second and 15 now. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Third and long, it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll run on first down. Dillon, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. From the gun, Parks. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Now a handoff looking right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and 8. Now Wilson, buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line, absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
On second down, Dillon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're going to get the first out here as he's up to the 14. His first catch, good for 9 in the first down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. They run the counter. Dillon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, it's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if we're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Back to throw. Parks. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Wilson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he can get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From just shy of midfield, Wilson, this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, 20, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together.
The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it.